After months of preparation that started with open gyms this summer, practice in November has led these ladies to the ultimate prize here in the state of Iowa, the Girls State Basketball Championships. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Wells Fargo Arena as we get set for the third of four Class 5A quarterfinals, and this one pits the number 2 seed Dowling Catholic Maroons against the 7 seed Davenport North. Neither team a stranger to playing here in Wells Fargo Arena. Hello, everybody, and welcome courtside. My name is Zarin Agastal, joined by Andy Pollock. And Andy, of course, Dowling Catholic has gone through the gauntlet of the CIML this year, but Davenport North, when you got a couple of star-studded players that are both going to be playing Division I basketball next year, you never can count them out.
Well, they've got the athletes to run up and down the floor, and I think we're going to see an up-and-down game as they go throughout the entire course of the day. And obviously, Dowling's got a couple really good Division I athletes themselves on that side. But, you know, Davenport North, we talk about the CIML, they had to go through Pleasant Valley. They had to go through Central DeWitt in their conference. So they've been able to be challenged a few times as well. And what a difference a year makes. A year ago right now, Divine Burridge, you know, she's got coaches, big-time coaches sitting here watching her courtside. Now she's committed to LSU, so that's the dramas out of that. And Journey Houston as well, committed to Iowa right now for Davenport North. And, you know, another year ago as well right now, Ava Zedeker, you know, people showed up here, and she was on the cover of the state tournament program. Kind of like, who is she? And those of us around Central Iowa knew who she was, but very talented point guard for Dowling. Can get up and down the floor, very athletic, and she's going to be going to Creighton to play her basketball. Had already committed a year ago, took a lot of the drama out of that, but we're going to see some of the best individual players that this state has to offer this afternoon.
And, of course, so we'll hear more from Andy when we get our channel seeds for success a little bit later on. Let's take a look at how these two teams got here. We'll start first with the 7th seed from Davenport North in their road to state. 19-4 this year. They were the champions in Class 5A Region number 7, and they got their revenge over Cedar Falls in the regional championship, squeaking past the Tigers of Cedar Falls in that contest. 15 assists per game, which is third in Class 5A, 63 points per game, which is fourth in Class 4A. And you just mentioned it, Journey Houston going to play at Iowa next year, 20 points per game. And Divine Burridge, 18 points per game, going to play for the Tigers of LSU next year. Now on the other side, the Dowling Catholic, the 2 seed, the defending Class 5A runners-up, 20-3 this season. They are the Region 2 champions, defeated Cedar Rapids, Washington. And they're a team that block a lot of shots. Best in Class 5A. We're going to see a lot of Ellie Muller inside today. 64 points per game, which is second best in Class 5A. And you mentioned earlier, Ava Zedeker, 18 points per game. We just talked about her, Ellie Muller, the all-time leader in career blocks at Dowling Catholic, just a junior. And she'll be a star inside today for the Maroons. We'll take a break. We're going to come back. We'll have more from inside Wells Fargo Arena at the Girls State Basketball Championships, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy right after this.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small. We host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back inside Wells Fargo Arena, getting set for Dowling Catholic and Davenport North. And Andy Pollock is here with today's Channel Seeds for Success.
Well, Dowling, first of all, they're going to have to dominate in the half court. Davenport North is going to try to turn this into an up-and-down game. Dowling settle in and get a lot of those points in their half-court sets and obviously get back on defense. Then for Davenport North, the way Dowling blocks shots and the height advantage they've had, they're going to have to hit some three-point shots. They've got a bunch of players that can shoot it. They're not like the best shooting team in Class 5A, but they can, and they're going to really need a couple players to step up and hit some shots from the outside today.
Those are our Channel Seeds for Success. Today's Seeds for Success brought to you by our friends at Channel Seeds. We're getting set for number 2, Dowling Catholic, the Maroons, the 2nd seed, taking on the 7th seed, Davenport North, the Wildcats. Both teams familiar here inside Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. We'll take our final break. We'll come back. We have starting lineups and tip-off for this Class 5A quarterfinal next. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, a 5th-generation farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We're excited to have you join us for the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to be the title sponsor of this amazing event. Iowa's farmers work endlessly to grow and raise nutritious food and sustain our local communities. Similarly, Iowa's student athletes dedicate countless hours to train and excel in their sport. Partnering with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union allows us to celebrate farmers and student athletes while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is a tremendous achievement, and it requires strong support. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we can celebrate and honor students for their accomplishments on the basketball court and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to your success, assisting our organization in providing awards, grants and scholarships, as well as concussion insurance and these wonderful championship hats. These contributions not only protect student athletes' health, but also highlight outstanding performance in both athletics and academics.
As Iowans, we have so much to be proud of, and every single one of us plays a role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on an outstanding season and best of luck in the tournament.
back inside Wells Fargo Arena. And with this, let's go downstairs for today's introductions with public address announcer Tim Fitzpatrick.
Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Davenport North High School and Dowling Catholic High School. In recognition of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Augusta Warren from Davis County High School, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Davenport North High School, Devon Binion. And from Dowling Catholic High School, Mark Amadeo. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by everyone here today. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation, and as the ladies just said in the video, enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's 5A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Wildcats of Davenport North. Number 3, Sierra McMath. Number 10, Isla Marty. Number 13, Zion Howell. Number 14, Dolores Obertens. Number 15, Monique Nelson. Number 20, Julissa Walker. Number 21, Brooklyn Miller. Number 23, Tayana Pendleton. Number 24, Emma Roth. And number 33, Maria Jones. Your assistant coaches, Adam Creighton, David Gamble, and Katie Hatcher. And now let's meet the non-starters assistant coaches for the Dowling Catholic Maroons. Number 1, Kate Clendenin. Number 3, Emerson Flattery. Number 25, Madison Rice. Number 31, Olivia Meredith. Number 33, Macy Harnden. 35, Nellie Johnson. And 41, Sophia Anthony Bodie. Your assistant coaches, Joel Danner, Audrey Faber, Tom Donahue, Lisa Smith, Jonathan Vondera, and Logan Greiner. And now, here are your starters for this 5A quarterfinal. For Davenport North, a 6-foot senior, number 1, Divine Burridge. For Dowling Catholic, at forward, a 5-time senior, number 5, Ellie Olson. For Davenport North, a 5'6" freshman, number 2, Elena Dreckmeyer. For Dowling Catholic, At guard, a 5'11 sophomore, number 11, Katie Muller. For Davenport North, a 5'6 senior, number 4, Demia Clark. For Dowling Catholic, at guard, a 5'10 senior, number 13, Ava Zedeker. For Davenport North, a 5'11 senior, number 5, Journey Houston. For the Maroons at guard, a 5'9 senior, number 15, Layla Tritton. And at guard for Davenport North, a 5'8 senior, number 11, Maya Arnold. For the Maroons at forward, a 6'2 junior, number 23, Ellie Muller. Head coach for the Wildcats is Paul Rucker. For the Maroons, Kristen Meyer. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our officials for this 5A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Your referee, Travis Carroll. Your umpire, William Dotson. Umpire, Christopher Thomas. And your bench official, Tyler Hovick. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
Well, we are sure ready for state tournament basketball. Zarin Eggesdahl, Andy Pollock with you. The cheerleaders are hyping up the teams. And Andy, one of the other things that stands out to me in this game, 2 experienced head coaches. Coach Rucker, 12th year coaching overall. And of course, Kristen Meyer, 15th year here at Dowling. 9th year here at Dowling, 15th year overall. 2 experienced head coaches.
With a great career at Nevada before she came down to Dowling too. So yeah, a couple coaches that have been here before, consecutive trips strung together. It'll be fun to see Journey Houston out here playing tonight for Davenport North. A year ago, Journey was getting surgery on her leg when they were here to play. So she is ready to come out here and make a name for herself.
Missed the last 7 games of the year for Davenport North. They still got here to the state tournament. As we mentioned earlier, lost in the opening round of Cedar Falls. Got that revenge in the regional final, and we'll see what Dowling Catholic does first with the offensive possession. Davenport North going to take it away. Can North have the first bucket? No, neither team. As Journey Houston going to the rack there, unable to find that one. Zedeker will race back the other way and try to set it up for the Maroons. Again, Dowling Catholic going to try to work inside to Muller, the multi-talented star. Not just on the basketball court, but on the volleyball court as well for Dowling Catholic. Mentioned earlier, the all-time careers leader in blocks. And again, she's just a junior for Dowling Catholic. Zedeker with the basketball. You mentioned Zedeker really making a name for herself, coming on the recruiting spotlight. Muller's going to try a 3. That's off the mark. And the rebound will come to Houston for Davenport North. Their last possession in transition. What will they do this first time? With Burridge running the point for Davenport North. No score. A little over a minute into this basketball game.
I don't think you're going to see offensive possessions for Davenport North. This may be one of the longer possessions of the game. I say that as Burridge goes up for the shot.
Burridge, a little jumper from the free throw line. It was partially blocked. Now an answer 3 on the way. It's banked in and good for the sophomore, Katie Muller. The 5'11 sophomore, the bank is open.
Katie Muller and her sister Ellie take a peek at each other after she hit that one with a kind of a sheepish grin. Not going to get too many of those friendly bounces down here at the well.
And Davenport North, an answer 3 is no good by the senior Maya Arnold. Zedeker, little Euro step, and she floats it in.
You see the body control of Ava Zedeker, able to step around the defender and get herself just a nice, smooth finish at the basket.
5-point early lead here for Dowling Catholic, the 2 seed. And now a takeaway as they tried to feed that ball to Houston. Muller comes up with it. That's now Ellie Muller. They'll give it back to her. She won't shoot the 3 this time. No, she will. Step back 3. Just short, in and out. Zedeker the rebound, though. She'll put it back up inside the paint. Also no good. Third opportunity for Dowling. No. Can they have a 4th? They can.
Well, the length of Dowling down low is really, really setting things up nicely for the Maroons early on. A lot of offensive putback opportunities.
Haven't seen as much of Ellie Muller inside the paint. She'll try a little scoop layup, is no good. But she's fouled, and we'll get to see her at the free throw line for the first time tonight as our First foul is going to be called against Divine Burridge.
Well, this is going to be a tough matchup for Burridge because she wants to hang out in the paint on defense. She's in there as a shot blocker, wants to be there, but Ellie Muller, really good three-point shooter, and that's a part that she's added to her game this year. Haven't seen her hit one yet early in this one, but she will make you step out and have to defend you, and that's really opened up the paint so far for the Maroons.
Also, something you don't see as much as she misses that second and almost 70% from the free throw line this year. Now 32 of 48 this season, but Dowling Catholic does add on to their lead, makes it a full 2 possession. Burridge able to tiptoe that out of bounds line, keep her feet inside. Now she's going to drive for the first time, lost the handle on it. Who touched it last? They're going to say it was touched by the junior Ellie Muller for Dowling Catholic.
Muller did a good job staying upright. Burridge trying to draw contact, but Muller just hangs out, stays vertical there in the plane, and you see it right now already. Burridge, I was told she might be a little banged up, and she is a little gimpy coming up off that last possession.
Arnold's going to step out for a 3, in and out, no good. Not able to dial it up from range just yet here in this one. A chance to go all the way, no, offensive foul. That was Ellie Olson trying to go all the way for Dowling Catholic.
Yeah, Arnold stepped in. She was there. Olson kept going all the way through, and not full straight on contact, but Arnold being there already and was there so long, I don't know how you can't call that a charge in that situation.
Davenport North will bring the ball back across the line in their blues here as the technical road team, and distance-wise the road team.
Yeah, big distance-wise.
Dowling Catholic just down the road in West Des Moines. Here's Burridge. She's going to try a little jumper from the logo. It's no good. And the rebound will come to Muller. And she'll outlet pass to Zedeker across the line. Zedeker will try to set things up. She'll pull it back out here. Try to run an offense for Dowling Catholic. They'll get into it now. And it's going to be Zedeker inside. Gets the little shot fake. Can't quite get the jumper to go, and it's lost out of bounds. Last touched by Ellie Olson for Dowling Catholic.
Yeah, early on, just watching Burridge kind of favoring that, looks like a left leg right now, and Davenport North needs her at full strength right now. Coach Rucker going to need her to be able to go, but she is wincing in pain as she heads up and down the floor right now.
But that shows you her toughness. I mean, some people may be like, Coach, I'm hurt. Her last chance here at the state tournament. And there's Journey Houston going to drive in a little float shot up and over the block attempt. She'll find her first points, and the first points for the Wildcats of Davenport North. They're on the board, back to a 4-point game.
Love the quick release there as she drove into the lane, avoiding that block.
That gets the Davenport North crowd just behind us into it. Muller's going to try for another 3. This time she's money from range. As Ellie Muller, the 6'2 junior, rattles that one home to extend the Dowling Catholic lead.
Yeah, we're not going to see too many 6'2 gals that can shoot the 3 at over 30% like she does.
Mentioned that, and then I also mentioned earlier almost 70% from the free throw line. Starting to get her pure shot on. Houston trying to work inside. Arnold now inside the lane, has her shot blocked by Muller. There's the all-time shots block leader at Dowling Catholic. Broke that record earlier this year. 78 blocks.
7-inch height differential between those two going up in there.
And now Muller will try inside with a little floating jumper, no good, and the timeout's going to be called here by Davenport North with a 9-2 Dowling Catholic lead. 2:52 to play here in the opening quarter. Just a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here. And Andy, what do you think that Davenport North needs to do to try to cut back in, get some offense going here?
Well, I think, first of all, it's going to start with some stops on the defensive end because that will lead into transition. They're going to have a really tough time, as we said in the pregame, matching up with the length of Dowling in the half court. So trying to get some of those either first break, initial break opportunities, or get into those secondary break opportunities, maybe free themselves up for an open look.
It's been a long time since this Dowling Catholic team has been in a really, really tight game. Maybe all the way back to January 24th, their loss to Johnston. They eased through the regional tournament, so that could be one thing for Davenport North. If they can keep this close throughout the entire game, they've had a lot more closer games down the stretch than Dowling Catholic has.
Well, when you look through that stretch, they've just played so many. We're talking about Dowling here. Their defense has been outstanding. They gave up 50 points once in that whole run over the last month and a half.
Including the regional tournament, they won 79-19 over Des Moines Lincoln and 79-40 over Cedar Rapids Washington. On the flip side for Davenport North, It took a close game there at the end to beat Cedar Falls in the regional final. Houston turnaround jumper has her shot blocked. Now there's a fight for it. Houston comes up against two Maroons and gets a possession back here for North. And now we'll have a stoppage.
Shot clock did not restart, and it should not have restart there. Might have to go back to our cameras to find out where they were on the clock. I didn't look up at it. I'm not sure where they...
I would assume they have a recall button on that, so we'll see where that shot clock ends up at. It is currently at 35. It goes to 20.
I feel like that's just the default.
Yep.
Get it back down to 20 seconds. Feel like throughout the course of the year that seems to be where it goes.
2:37 here in the opening quarter. Close one so far. 7-point game, 9-2. And it'll be now 15 seconds for Davenport North. They're trying to find a shot. Arnold's had a couple of looks at three. They're going to put the ball in the hands of Houston and Burridge. Three ball left side is no good with three. Burridge, the rebound, puts it back up and she scores. So tough inside. You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, no one got a body on Burridge in the 6-foot length of her, able to go up and put it in with ease. And they were able to draw Muller out with that 3-point shot. So even though they didn't make it, that might be able to free some things up later on for North.
Burridge had 185 rebounds coming into the state tournament and 121 assists. So she distributes the ball well, rebounds the ball, and of course we know her 18 points per game. She shoots the ball very well as also. Zedeker is going to try for a three on the right side. She can't have it. And the rebound will be Houston for Davenport North as she fights for that rebound.
I like the move to free her up for the three against that zone, drew the double team and dished it out, but Zedeker just looked a little uncomfortable shooting it there, and then a moving screen on Burridge. And did she just pick up her second?
Yeah. And Burridge, I think she was set there for a moment, but I think she maybe kicked the knee out a little bit. Of course, nothing egregious there. She was just looking to maybe get that little pick, but referee caught that and got her for a second foul, so she's going to have to go to the bench.
And so much of that can be on the ball handler as well, about staying tight to the screen. They used to talk about rubbing elbows, rubbing shoulders as you go by. Got to stay tight to it so then the one setting the pick doesn't have to come out there.
Jump three, quick movement, no good. Rebound is picked up by North. That's Mia Clark.
And neither team able to really hit much from three here early on.
The other thing is we're not going to see a lot of substitutions in this game. The last one brought to you by IMT. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Here's a three on the way left side, and it rattles home for Clark. Back to a 2-point game, 9-7. As Clark rattles home a three from the left side.
Houston drew some attention, just enough.
Zedeker with a hand in her face for the answer. No. Rebound to North. A chance to tie or take the lead as the clock winds down here on the opening quarter for Davenport North. The Wildcats, what can they do? Offensively, Houston with it. She's going to drive inside baseline. She stopped, kick back out, stolen by Zedeker. And Zedeker lost it out of bounds. Who touched it last? They're going to say Houston did. And the ball will go to Dowling Catholic. Shot clock off now with 27 seconds left here in the opening quarter.
Well, they're going to let Tritton set this one. I was going to say, I didn't think Tritton would be the one setting it up. They got it back to Zedeker right away. But this different kind of defenses that North has been running right now, and it's all kind of predicated on a zone look, but it's man principle still with it.
Zedeker looking inside at Muller for two. She scores. 10 seconds, a chance for North here. What can they do with 7? Now with 5, they'll bring the ball across the line. Dreckmeyer all the way in. Scoop shot left side, no good, and that'll wind out our opening quarter. North got a look as the North bench maybe wanted some body contact there. Not going to get it. We've had a good one so far. 11-7. We'll come back for 8 more minutes of first half basketball next. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
If you grill it, he will come.
this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
The most prestigious tournament in the state of Iowa is the Iowa Girls State Basketball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Fans are enjoying it. There's some fans from Dowling Catholic across the way. Of course, the Dowling Catholic band is here as well, serenading the crowd in between quarters here. 11-7, Davenport North trailing Dowling Catholic, and North will get the basketball back. Zara Negestal, Andy Pollock with you. And Andy, one of the points I was going to make a moment ago, not going to see a whole lot of substitutions. Both of these teams, really for the most part, 6, maybe 7 deep throughout the season.
And that becomes very important with a player like Divine Burridge now on the bench. That's a big story of the first quarter. She had 2 fouls in the first 4.5 minutes and had to spend the rest of the quarter on the bench. And now we'll see how close the Wildcats can keep things right now with her on the bench and how much longer they might risk her picking up her third.
Clark on the right side trying to come inside for 2 shot, no good. And Moeller comes up with that rebound. Arnold had a good look inside, but of course with the 6'2 body on her, she didn't want to turn around and try to go after that one. Nobody picks up a streaking Triton inside, and she'll find 2 off the left glass.
Started on the other end. Ellie Olsen's box out on the rebound, cleared out everything. The ball was able to bounce off the hardwood a couple different times, but just cleared out everybody for Davenport North.
Houston for a step back 3. That's no good. And this game continues to be a track meet up and down the court as Zedeker comes back with it. The Mullers back and forth with each other. Katie and Ellie trying to give it back to Zedeker, and now a screen inside. Zedeker with the left hand. That looks nice. Just scoops it up there with that left hand.
I think Ava Zedeker is a player you would have heard a lot more about over the last couple of years had she not committed so early on to Creighton, and she's a good one. What do we say, over 18 points per game, and she just runs things so well for Coach Kristen Meyer's squad.
Won't go too far, as Andy mentioned. We'll play for Creighton next year. An attempt inside by McMath. McMath kind of stutter step there at the free throw line, trying to figure out what you want to do with it. Shoot or pass. Decided to drive inside, had it blocked out. That'll be 16 seconds here for Davenport North on the inbound pass. Arnold to Houston. We'll see what Houston does with the spin move inside. Backdoor pass through the hands of McMath. They had it set up there from Houston. McMath just right to the hands.
I think you see even more right now the impact that Moeller has had inside, though. A block shot again there, and they're just so careful about shooting inside. And see if that's they did have her for, I guess, just 2 blocks, I guess, already in the first quarter. And she had another one here to start the second quarter.
Oh, good backdoor pass inside of Zedeker. They found it perfectly. That play was set up and designed with perfection, and Zedeker finishes.
There's been so much spacing in Dowling's offense, and I wondered if something was up because everybody was on the far side of the court as they set that one up. I thought they had maybe screwed up their set. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Arnold will try for a 3. Dowling Catholic allowed her 2, unable to get that one to go. Now Zedeker racing back the other way, and a foul is going to be called. Clark thought maybe she blocked the shot there, but Zedeker will go to the free throw line as Clark's going to pick up her first.
Ava Zedeker, a player that if you haven't seen her before, you get to thinking that maybe she's a little bit out of control, and then she finds herself completely in control when she gets to the basket, has that knack for going very strong to the hoop, but then finishing very soft around the rim.
10-point lead now in double figures for Dowling Catholic. And North wants to take a timeout here. Trying to talk about things. Down by 10, 17-7, but with the offense that we've seen from North this year, averaging 65 points per game, this team can score. They don't want to get too far down. You never want to get too far down, but definitely not a 10-point differential that's going to hold them down anything.
They've just got to be able to get, Dowling's not letting them run right now, and they've got to get some of those stops on the defensive end to get themselves running. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Burridge come off the bench here again very soon right now to try to get her back in the game, bring some of her athleticism back to things, and get Davenport North back into this ballgame. And there, as I say that, here she comes right back onto the floor. That timeout may have been more just to give the Wildcats a little bit of a breather right now. You mentioned they only go 6 deep, and so give everybody a chance to breathe, and they've already used 2 of their timeouts in this game.
There'll be one more here for Zedeker. It's a 6-0 lead here in the second quarter for Dowling Catholic. Make it 7-0 run for Dowling Catholic in this quarter. It was 11-7 at the end of the first. Now 18-7 in favor of the 2-seed Dowling Catholic. And immediately Burridge inside with a pass. It'll end up in the hands of Houston. Houston tried to go back out to Clark, but it's taken away by those long arms of Katie Muller.
Again, able to have Ellie Muller just camped out there in the lane and nothing really to do inside. They're going to have to hit some outside shots.
Here is Ellie Muller. She will, I thought maybe she was going to step back for a 3 there. It looked like it. She kind of pump faked it and then passed it off to the right side. Zedeker moving around, showing off her move, spin move. Can she get the 2 as well? She can.
Ava Zedeker started to go at Divine Burridge's side of the zone, took a little stutter step back, and then decided to go to the other side of the zone, thought better of it, and it worked out pretty well for her. They're going to have to shoot the ball.
Houston with it. Of course, the Davenport North fans right behind us calling for the same thing you're calling for. Trying to get those shots up from the outside, and a foul is going to be whistled here against Davenport North. Will send Dowling Catholic right back to the free throw line as Ellie Olson will be doing the honors this time.
Well, the Maroons are the ones right now able to get things going in transition. You see Zedeker seeing the floor all the way in. A lot of contact there on Olson.
Dreckmeyer whistled for the foul. It is Dreckmeyer's first personal foul, second team foul for North, as the first free throw is no good. There's a look at Ellie Olson, the senior, listed at 5'10", is playing her 24th game of the season. Her second free throw is also no good. Gets neither of them to go, and a chance now for Davenport North to cut in to this lead. As Dreckmeyer to the right side to Arnold. Arnold does have 6 threes made this year. A drive by Burridge is blocked off by Muller. That'll be her, third block?
I got fifth
block
in this game so far. And she's able to they're not putting any pressure on her defensively. She is able to just hang out inside.
3 ball left side is no good. Too strong. Rebound. Good box out there by Davenport North. They had everybody.
Dreckmeyer really got a body there.
They had like a little circle of box outs. And the 3 ball is off the front of the iron. No good by Arnold. Coming back the other way comes Dowling Catholic, looking to extend their lead right now, 20-7.
Arnold she's made 5 3-pointers this entire year, and Dowling not respecting that at all right now.
Olson inside. She stopped defensively. Good defense by Davenport North, forcing the ball back outside with 10 on the shot clock. What will Dowling Catholic do with it at the free throw line? Zedeker, they're going to put the ball in their ball handler's hands, and she's going to go inside looking for 2. She looked for the contact, no good. It did hit the rim, so no violation, but Burridge really shaken up coming across the line here for Davenport North.
We are not seeing Divine Burridge at her best right now at all.
Rattling home a 3 is the freshman Dreckmeyer.
That was actually one of the more challenged shots they've had from the outside, too.
Dreckmeyer 26% from the line. One of the things that Coach Rucker was talking about before the game is really trying to get her confident with shooting the basketball. And she had confidence there and drained that one's going to be a really good player for Davenport North to come in the future. And inside, again, fighting for every inch as Zedeker can't get that one to go. Long pass from Burridge to Houston. She's going to try a little jumper, and it's good. No need to drive all the way in when you can shoot like Journey Houston.
Well, and she made a very good decision to do that because Muller was coming down the court and was ready to take on anything that she took at her.
Back to an 8-point game. Can it be extended? It can, as that one's dropped in by Katie Muller.
So many offensive weapons for these Maroons.
Only a couple minutes remaining here in this second quarter, first half of basketball. We're in the third of 4 Class 5A quarterfinals. And that one's deflected away, and Davenport North just immediately retreating to defense, and they want a full timeout. We'll take one as well, 22-12, 1:51 to play here in the second quarter. Timeout on the court. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available.
Back to Des Moines, across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks are providing jobs, supporting businesses, and strengthening our communities. Here, success is built by you, and the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See what it means at iowabankers.com. Thank you to the Iowa Bankers Association for sponsoring this fantastic tournament, where Dowling Catholic, the 2 seed, currently leading Davenport North 22-12. Here in this Class 5A quarterfinal. We did have a substitution on that timeout, brought to you by IMT. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. As Macy Harnden checks in for the first time. As Tritton will find 2 more points.
Yeah, no rim protectors in there right now for the Wildcats, so anytime you can beat that first wave, there's just not much left to stop them.
Burridge is back on the Davenport North bench as Houston inside. And a blocking foul will be whistled here against Dowling Catholic.
Let's see who that was on. I was watching Ellie Muller just kind of work defensively right now, and Davenport North has Demia Clark in the game right now, and she's who Muller is on, so that's drawn Muller out a little bit. See if the Wildcats can take some advantage of that.
Only the second foul of the game whistled against the Maroons. Been a fairly clean game so far.
Well, now they made the switch, so she's back on on Arnold, excuse me.
There's the freshman Dreckmeyer inside. Her 2-point shot no good. And Zedeker will come back the other way with it. Under a minute to play here in the opening half of basketball. Zedeker inside against 2, and she's fouled. And we'll go back to the free throw line. Zedeker went right against both North players. We'll see which one they got the foul on. They got it on Houston.
Yeah, and Zedeker drives in, wins that point of contact, able to go right through it up, and again, nice and soft. Not quite able to put it in, but showing how physical she can be. Well, the record book watch is on right now. You see there powering her way through. How do you even get that up off the glass when you come through that?
With 2 North players right on you. Both of them are no good by Zedeker. Rebound is picked up by Houston.
A year ago at this tournament, Ellie Muller set the record for blocks in a game with 7, and I've got her for 5 right now in the first half.
Houston on a drive. Her shot no good. Both players went to the floor. Ball coming the other way for Dowling Catholic. Zedeker gives it back to Muller. Muller's going to pull the trigger on 3. She can have it. 30 seconds to play in the quarter, and Muller knocks down a triple.
That's Katie Muller getting that one, the younger of the 2 sisters. What a thrill for her parents to be watching here this afternoon. Got to see them both play in the championship game a year ago.
Houston on the left side, back to the right side to Dreckmeyer. Dreckmeyer's just going to pull up for a 3, and she knocks one right back. Dreckmeyer says, okay, give me a little space. I'm going to use that space and knock down a 3. Now Zedeker for the answer. No. Muller the putback as the buzzer expires. It was short, it was no good, and that's how we go to halftime. It turned into a little bit of a 3-point contest between the 2 teams, but a 12-point lead for Dowling Catholic over Davenport North after the first half of basketball. Let's watch this one again. Dreckmeyer, just a little bit of space. Give me some space. I'm going to use that space. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We'll be right back.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back inside Wells Fargo Arena, the IGHSAU State Basketball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Dowling Catholic leading Davenport North here at the half, 27-15, and it's, one of those halves, a 4-point game at the end of the first quarter, a big run by Dowling Catholic to start that second quarter has translated into a 12-point lead, Andy.
And they were really able to give Davenport North kind of a taste of their own medicine throughout that time, getting buckets in transition, getting up and down the floor, just kind of beating the Wildcats at their own game. And we've got the stats right now. We can talk about those here in a little bit, but I think you're going to see Dowling really winning the game in the paint as well right now, and that's a big deal. Not just scoring in the paint, but everything that they brought to the paint.
The crowd here enjoying a little dance team performance. The Norwalk dance team performed a moment ago, and now it's the Bondurant-Farrar dance team here on the floor. Always so much spectacular things that goes along with the basketball here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. We'll come back, we'll talk stats, and we'll get you ready for the second half of basketball of the IGHSAU State Basketball Championship presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family. Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Back inside Wells Fargo Arena, Zern Eggestal, Andy Pollock with you. As you see on the big board there, the wing eating contest going on. And who would win between us, Andy?
Oh, boy. There's a reason they don't put us both on camera at the same time right now, right? Keep us on the other side of the camera. That's a little distracting watching those guys. I wonder what sauce they've got over there that they put them on. I got to ask Taylor Anderson that sometime because those Jethro's wings, I'd put those up against anywhere and inhale those.
They're so good. Let's take a look at our stats here in the first half. And, Andy, you were pouring over them a little bit. What stands out to you?
Well, I think a big part of it is you just see that it's Dowling in the paint. That's been a big part of it. It's been clean, and you kind of work our way from the bottom up. But, you look at how clean it is on the turnovers. That's both teams doing a really good job handling the ball. And one of the stats that we don't have there but is a big one right now, Dowling in the paint. Outscoring Davenport North 16-4 in the paint. You see they're out rebounding them 19-15, but also then Dowling with 6 blocks, and 5 of those coming from Ellie Muller, get the Muller girls confused. But Ellie, I can't even remember my own girl's name, so it's hard for me to remember girls of two other sisters out there. Going to be challenged with that later on today with Mount Vernon with a couple sets of sisters. But yeah, that's Dowling. Looking at it right now, it's just the presence that Ellie Muller is bringing inside, and she's got here in the first half, she's got 9 rebounds to go along with 5 blocks. So a heck of a start there for Ellie Muller. We talked a lot about her, and we talked about Ava Zedeker, and really Davenport North has not had an answer. Not so much on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, they don't have an answer for what Ellie Muller is able to do patrolling the paint.
Points look like this in the first half. Elena Dreckmeyer has 6 points. It is 4 points for Journey Houston, talking about Davenport North. Demia Clark has 3 points, and Divine Burridge has 2 points. That adds up to 15 for Davenport North. For Dowling Catholic, their points look like this. Ava Zedeker leads the way with 9 points. It's 8 points for Katie Muller, 4 points in the contest for Layla Trayton, and 6 points for Ellie Muller in the contest to go along with her 5 blocks, as she could have a double-double in points and blocks at some point in this contest. That's 27 points for Dowling Catholic. And points per quarter look like this. Dowling Catholic had 11 in the first quarter, 16 in the second quarter. Davenport North, 7 in the first quarter, and 8 in the second quarter. We're going to come back in just a couple of minutes as the teams return to the floor, getting set to warm up for the second half. We're at halftime of our third Class 5A quarterfinal matchup between the 2-seed Dowling Catholic, the Maroons, 27 points, and the 7-seed Davenport North, 15 points here at the half. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Championships, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
Back Back inside Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Zarin Eggestal, Andy Pollock getting set for the second half of basketball here between Dowling Catholic and Davenport North. Fans' official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out, and we're going to have a QR code for you to scan on your screen, or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. There's the QR code. Get your smartphones out, scan the QR code, and get yourself some fantastic state tournament merchandise. That looks beautiful with, of course, the pink being the focus of the Iowa girl, and the IGHSAU does so much for the Iowa girl, including this tournament. I mean, you walk out to the tunnel there with the pink lights, and it's dark inside
it's new
there.
This year. Yeah, new to have that. I was caught off guard. I thought maybe there's a power outage when I walked down there this morning.
So awesome. The other cool thing I saw is there's a banner right outside there that lists every team and every girl on every roster in this state tournament. How awesome is that?
Very cool. And the other part that I have just thought for years is so neat, and it's this way at all the state tournaments, but back in that hallway, they have got pictures from the 20s, and just all the way through, and seeing, the Ankeny teams of the 80s, my old Applington Panther teams of the 80s when they won a title down, at Veterans Auditorium at the time, but just connecting the past to the future. And then before every game, they recognize anyone who was ever an Iowa girl, because they say once you're an Iowa girl, you're always an Iowa girl. And my wife was an Iowa girl. I've got 4 daughters. 2 of them so far have been able to play in state tournaments. Hopefully we can get the other 2 there someday as well. So it's just a lot of fun. And being a girl dad myself, I know you're a girl dad as well. It just means a little something extra to be down here.
Speaking of Iowa girls, we've got some Iowa girls that have gone on to do awesome, fantastic things. We've seen Jan Jensen here in the building watching Journey Houston, who will play for her at Iowa next year. I think we saw some Iowa State as well. They're here watching some good basketball.
Yeah, for sure, and there's no shortage of D1 talent when you look at what, we saw earlier. We saw Johnston out there. I think they have 4 on their roster. Dowling was out, Centennial was out with 2 on their roster. Davenport North, 2 highly regarded ones on their roster. Dowling out here with 4 on their roster. I mean, you're going to see Waukee Northwest, no commits yet because their whole team's young, and that's who's coming up next. So just a lot of talent at this state tournament.
Yeah, the winner of this gets Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Prairie, who will play in our next game. That's going to be a really good contest. Make sure you join us after this one for this one. But we still have 16 more minutes of basketball here to decide who is going to go on to the semifinals to take on the winner of our next game between Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Prairie. And we've got an early foul called.
Burridge just picked up her 3rd, I mean, immediately they just got the ball. They hammered it inside to Muller right away, and she backed down on Burridge, who extended her arms.
Obviously, Coach Meyer, very experienced coach. Maybe that was something that was talked about. Hey, let's go at her and see if we can't pick up that 3rd foul. Now Burridge trying to answer back with a 2. Her shot no good, but Houston right there for the follow, and she kisses it off the glass.
And even though she didn't make the basket, getting in transition, getting Dowling having to run all over the place, created some different angles for North. And you see Burridge as she comes back, hobbling again as she comes back down the floor.
10-point lead once again here for Dowling Catholic. Zedeker has controlled the pace of this game, and that one's stolen away by Houston. A chance to cut it under double digits. Houston around Zedeker. Kicks it back out. Burridge for a triple on the right side. Too strong, no good. And the rebound will be picked up by Dowling Catholic. Now they want to run, but Houston strips it away. And we're going to continue to run. Arnold inside, lets the flyby go, and she's fouled and will go to the free throw line.
Arnold going for the rebound on the other end, ended up in the sponsor banners down below, and then she happened to be still back there when the steal happened, so able to get herself a couple opportunities here at the free throw line.
And Arnold has had a pretty good year from the charity stripe this year. Her first one is up, and it is no good. 66%, now 14 of 22. And look at Divine Burridge. 126 assists this year, just eyes up the court always when she gets the basketball.
Well, she likes that football throw. We've seen it a couple times from her. It's a really quick release to get it down the floor and cover a lot of ground at the 94 feet here at Wells Fargo Arena.
Here's a 3 on the way, no good. A rebound comes to Arnold. Now they want to run. They'll get it up to Clark. Clark going to try for a 2, and she'll scoop it up and in.
This is exactly what North needed to do. They're getting some stops on defense and now getting into transition, getting themselves right back into this basketball game.
Right back under double digits. Can the Maroons extend, or will North find another stop? Muller gets it back to Zedeker, left wing. Being guarded by Burridge. Zedeker will have to get rid of it on the right side. Triton right back to Zedeker for a three. No. Another stop for North, and here comes Houston and company back across the line. Houston going to try to take it all the way in, kicks it back out. Dreckmeyer had a couple of threes. Here's Burridge wide open, top of the key, and she cans that one.
Everybody just kind of backed off Burridge, and, we just haven't seen much for her because her minutes have been so limited, but makes her presence known.
Just like that, it's a 5-point game. The Davenport North crowd behind us is getting into it as their defense chants come. The Dowling crowd had been very vocal here in the first half, trying to find something to cheer about to start here in the second half. Moeller for two. Good pass, Moeller to Moeller. The assist to Moeller, the bucket to Moeller as Katie Moeller finds Ellie Moeller for two.
Yeah, Katie Moeller just drew a ton of attention as she drove into the lane and just able to dish it off just in time to her big sister.
Huge answer there for Dowling Catholic, and now Zedeker is going to get called for a foul.
Grabbed onto the arm of Burridge, a long ways away from the basket. Boy, this is fun, watching these two go at it.
Oh. And it's just been such a track meet up and down.
Talking to a couple Dowling families beforehand, and the concern was, hey, Davenport North they've got two D1 basketball players. Their athletes are going to get up and down the floor, and then with a little glint, they say, but we've got three of our own. So we've seen all the D1 players, the future D1s, shine here this afternoon.
Here's Houston, kicks it back out. Burridge has it now. What will she do? She'll drive to the free throw line. Will she try a step back three? No, a step back two, or a little step to the left for a two. It's no good.
Not a good shot right there. 17-foot fadeaway, plenty of time on the shot clock. Even if it goes, it's just not an efficient shot.
Travel is going to be called, so good defense by North. Forcing another turnover. Still just a 7-point game with 4:36 to play here in the third quarter. There's plenty of time.
The defensive intensity for Davenport North has been turned up in this third quarter.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I've noticed, too. It just feels like you just got a little bit more oomph coming from North. Step back three, Burridge left side. Oh, just short, no good. Had a good look there, just couldn't quite get it to fall. Here's a three the other way for Dowling. Catholic finds the nylon. That's Triton for three, and a timeout is going to be called. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take it as well. Back to a 10-point game, 32-22. As we go to break, watching the triple from Triton. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Championship presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back inside Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines as timeout getting ready to wrap up here. 32-22 in favor of Dowling Catholic, a game that was cut to 7 a moment ago, back to 10. Davenport North trying to find a little push here at the end of the game. They're trying to punch their ticket into the semifinals against the winner of our next game, Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Prairie.
I would expect that we haven't heard the last of Dreckmeyer, Elena Dreckmeyer in this game for North. She's got the ball right now, and with so much attention on Burridge and Houston, I think we're going to see a big bucket from Dreckmeyer at some point here.
Over 200 points in her freshman campaign for North, and right when you say that, she's going to drive inside against Moeller and just can't quite get that one to go.
No fear there from Dreckmeyer, though.
Such a close opportunity. Here's a three on the right side. Triton trying for back-to-back. No, Zedeker there for the rebound and the finish. Zedeker playing much bigger there for Dowling Catholic. Nearly found another steal. Drive inside, too far under for Burridge. And now Zedeker will try for two more on a 4-point swing following the timeout for Dowling Catholic. And just like that, The Maroons have raced back out to a 36-22 lead. And Coach Rucker wants to call a timeout. We'll talk about this one here. For Coach Rucker, obviously just a quick little turnaround there for Dowling Catholic. Maybe wants to slow some of that momentum.
Yeah, the Maroons, it's Zedeker getting the ball out in transition. You notice these outlet passes, they just kind of chuck the ball down the general direction down the floor, let Zedeker run down and get it, and she just floats through the air. We're seeing a very, very talented basketball player right now in senior Ava Zedeker.
This is the 26th trip to state for Dowling Catholic. Of course, they were the runners-up a year ago to Johnston, and they would like to make another run to get it number 1 versus number 2 in the title game. But this 5A field has a lot of studs in it. And honestly, Johnston, they've already punched their ticket. Ankeny Centennial's already punched their ticket to the semifinals. But, man, who's going to come out of those semifinals? It's really anybody's game.
Well, it's Johnston's until somebody else proves it's not right now. And it's been that way for years because the group of talent that's been assembled over there by Coach Jellick and the way he manages those girls and the expectations and has them sharing the ball with each other. It's just the athleticism of them is tough for any school in the state of Iowa to match up to.
And that'll be the challenge now for Ankeny Centennial as they will match up in the semifinal game. One of these two teams will be on the bottom half of the bracket in the semifinals. In just a short amount of time, Davenport North looking for a little bit of a comeback. They try to find their way into the semifinals after falling in the quarterfinals to Cedar Falls a year ago.
They had this down to just a 5-point game, it felt like just a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. Here's Arnold. She's going to try for a 3 left side. It's no good, short off the front of the iron. Racing back the other way comes Dowling Catholic. They're going to slow it down a little bit. Don't need to be in too big of a hurry for Dowling Catholic with a lead. Late here in the third quarter, and it's taken away by Dreckmeyer. Again, there's that no fear of the young freshman. She takes that one away, use her nifty ball handling moves, trying to get open or find one of her open teammates. Burridge drives in off the glass, short, no good. Zedeker racing back the other way. Zedeker in the lane. On the right side, gives it back to Triton. Now Zedeker will set things back up. Little pump fake. Muller has driven a couple times from the top. She's knocked down a couple of threes, or shot a couple of threes. She's also taken a couple of ball drives as well. She's going to step back for a 3 here with 7 seconds on the clock, and she can have one.
The stereotypes of what a 6'2 girl should be able to do on the basketball floor do not apply to Ellie Muller. I mean, she handles the ball well, plays great defense, and a step back 3. I mean, just smooth as silk.
You just don't see that very often. Burridge inside, little float 2 off the right side, no good. 39-22. Dowling Catholic grabbing those rebounds. Can she have back-to-back? Yes, ma'am. Ellie Muller back-to-back triples for Dowling Catholic. Makes it a 20-point game just like that. It was 5, and now it's 20. Burridge on a drive inside, can't get it to go. Muller another rebound. Dowling Catholic trying to add on. Good pass inside for Zedeker. No good. Zedeker grabs the rebound. We'll try the inside pass again. Triton back out for another 3. This time it's off the mark, and Houston grabs the rebound for North.
Girls going to need a timeout here soon, just to catch their breath after this track meet.
And Houston gets back behind the three-point line, tries for a 3, can't get it to go.
These possessions are not taking long at all.
It has been a track meet for sure. Zedeker, Triton looking for a 3 on the right side. That's no good off the back of the iron. But again, Dowling Catholic tracks down another rebound. That's been a big key for Dowling Catholic here in the second half as they have been able to track down those rebounds and virtually even between game clock and shot clock. So Dowling Catholic can take the rest of this quarter.
Yeah, no need to give Davenport North another opportunity.
It is Zedeker just methodical with the basketball right now. Triton now Olsen. Back inside to Muller. Muller jump stop, has it blocked. Oh, they're going to call a foul, pardon me. And now a conversation between Burridge and the official.
And I think Travis Carroll handled that well because Burridge just picked up her 4th. And she went to talk to him right away, and he warned her right away because Burridge does not want to pick up her fifth at this point as well, and he's hearing her out right now. But so anytime you're blocking somebody from behind, it's going to have to be extremely clean, and you can hear a little bit of the contact on the skin there.
And we're going to see this again. But, yeah, it's not just the arm, but also the body as well. That's one thing that I think basketball fans in general don't get a lot. Like, you might have a clean block, but if you push your body into somebody else and clean block, it's still a foul.
A lot of times they're looking just at the ball. They're not looking at the rest of the body like you mentioned. A lot of times you can see with a lower body that the fouls are happening.
At the buzzer, Dreckmeyer. No! She gets it to go! Dreckmeyer, the freshman, makes a stamp on the third quarter, 43-25. As we go to the fourth and final, let's watch this one again. Dreckmeyer. Oh, baby. This is the IGHSAU State Basketball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back here to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, the Dowling Catholic Band continues to put on a show, as have the hot shooting Dowling Catholic Maroons, 43-25. And the defense has been phenomenal for Dowling Catholic in this game.
Defense has been phenomenal, and we saw a couple real good three-point shots there right at the end, so they've been able to hit a couple of those baskets and really stretch out this lead. Like you mentioned, it was down to 5 just a couple minutes into the third quarter. A few big shots, and just like that, here we are.
Davenport North does get the basketball to start here in the fourth quarter, but they're going to need a score in bunches and in a hurry. As Clark is going to try for the first bucket up and under. That's no good. A bit long on that shot. Maybe thought the contact was coming, so a little bit harder on a shot. The contact did come, and then Triton drives inside, and she lays it up and in.
She's really had a nice game today, up to 9 points there on the day. Just the presence again, though. I keep saying it. Ellie Muller down low, blocking all sorts of shots, altering all sorts of shots.
Back to a 20-point lead here for Dowling Catholic, and it's stolen away by Muller. Up, across, left side. There's a 2. It's just short, low, good, but a fight for a rebound. Who's going to come up with it? Out of bounds off of Dowling Catholic as Katie Muller grabbed that one and threw it up to Ellie Muller. Just a bit short on her shot.
I think the Maroons, you may see them be a little more liberal with some substitutions here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. Try to save some legs for later in the week. Try to make that deep run that they made a year ago.
There is an IMT substitution. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. As Olivia Meredith, the sophomore, comes in. Wears number 31 for Dowling Catholic. North unable to get that bucket to go as it rolls around the rim and back out. Ellie Muller will drive inside. She'll try with the left hand, no good. But Olson finds the rebound. Triton's going to try for a 3. It's on line, and it is good. Triton from range.
Just lined it up. A great view of that for us from where we're sitting. And Triton's been huge for Dowling today.
Burridge, no good on the first one, but stays with it and lifts in the second attempt. Finds 2 more for her. Muller gets it back outside to Meredith. Meredith again fresh off the bench here for Dowling Catholic. That one's lost and stolen away by Clark. Clark feeds it up to Burridge. Burridge with the left hand, and it goes.
Burridge is at her best right now when the game's coming to her more, and she's not pressing as much in the half court and just trying to get shots up. And we've seen her, again, not able to get into much of a flow today with the foul trouble. But when she's been in there, you certainly feel her athleticism out there for the Wildcats.
Hoping the season continues, but if it doesn't, she'll head down to Baton Rouge and get ready to play for Kim Mulkey's Tigers next year, as that one looked like it was going to roll out. But Trenton knocks down another one.
Got the friendly semi-hometown roll there for Trenton.
And Burridge goes down to the floor. Ball will go out of bounds. Last touched by Dowling Catholic, so it'll stay here with North, as we're going to see this one again. She might have slipped a little bit on her way inside. Houston, and a foul is called. She'll go to the free throw line.
Ellie Muller thought she got that pretty clean, but said he got it right on the palm of the hand as Houston went up for that one. Good shot there of Kristen Meyer, who is a little more calm than you'll sometimes see her on the bench.
First free throw is no good. Hit about every part of the rim before it missed out. 15th year as a head coach, 9th year here at Dowling Catholic. 264 wins, 92 losses overall. 163 wins and 47 losses as the coach of the Maroons.
Ellie Muller just picked up her 17th rebound of the day.
Oh. And a little scoop layup there by Zedeker. Meyer also was the Golden Plaque of Distinction award recipient last year. Prestigious honor bestowed upon coaches as Dreckmeyer tries for another two and gets it to go. Olsen kept that one alive. She nearly fell out of bounds, but able to get it back inside to Ellie Muller. Zedeker back to Muller on the right side. That's Katie Muller. Now Zedeker will drive in for two with the left hand. It's no good. And Houston grabs the rebound. 53-31, 4:34 to play in this one. And it's thrown out of bounds by Davenport North.
Just can't waste possessions at this stage of the game. I know it's a tall task anyway with just over 4.5 minutes to go.
IMT substitution. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com as McMath heads the bench. And Arnold, the senior, checks back in for Davenport North. Katie Muller finds Triton on the right side. She'll try for another long shot. That was going to be a two. It's no good. And Dreckmeyer across the line for Davenport North. Burridge, step back three. No, off the front of the iron. Rebound by Zedeker. Zedeker took a moment to try to gather that basketball. And we're going to have a blocking foul, and I believe that is the fifth and final foul for Divine Burridge, right?
Yes. Oh, fourth now.
Oh, pardon me.
Okay.
So just her fourth personal.
Somewhere along the line, one got lost because I know she was up to four, but yeah, we had her for 3 in the first quarter. She got 1 there in the second quarter and 1 and then the third quarter as well, but one of those must have been taken away from her at some point.
So just the fourth personal foul for Burridge. Number 3 for Dowling Catholic, and now Houston with the left hand off the glass, too strong, no good. Muller, long outlet pass up, back outside to Zedeker, who will try a little jumper from the third block. Can't get that one to roll home. And we continue to run here in this one.
I got to rethink what seasons I'm in. I keep hearing everybody behind me yelling, "Come on, Blue." Watching Davenport North here, I keep thinking, been watching spring training games all last week, so I hear "Come on, Blue," and I'm thinking someone's mad at the umpire.
There's a three again, rattles home. Another triple for Dowling Catholic. Timeout on the floor.
18 points right now for Layla Tritton.
Unbelievable as she knocks down another three. Just a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here. Let's watch this last one. Just pure form. And finds the nylon as that one rattles home. We'll have a couple of IMT substitutions when we come out of the timeout. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. IMT is our proud sponsor of all substitutions here in the IGHSAU State Basketball Championship. Some young fans cheering on their Maroons of Dowling Catholic across the way. You saw the Davenport North cheerleaders as well a moment ago. As they are cheering on their Wildcats. And again, I love the new floor. I know it's been a couple of years now with the new floor here inside Wells Fargo Arena, but with that beautiful Iowa logo in the middle and just the simple Iowa in pink.
That's all you need.
Yeah, simple. It's simple, but sends the message.
It lets everybody know when they tune in somewhere around the world, they know exactly what they're watching.
Cherney, Houston. Way to keep her pivot foot down and finds the 2 as she stays in place and gets that one to roll home. 59-33 now, 2:41 to play here in the ball game. Dowling Catholic, as you mentioned, a couple of substitutions in here, hoping for a long tournament run. Meredith is going to try for a 2, no good. Fights for her own rebound, but Burridge says, here, I'll take that. And here we go. Burridge inside, kicks it out. Houston for a 3 on the right side. She gets one.
I love that because as Burridge was driving down, instead of working their way to the basket, you saw Houston go right to the corner. Burridge finds her able to get that in rhythm 3-point shot.
2:10 to play here in the fourth quarter. Harnden will play at Loris College next year. There's 33 for Dowling Catholic there on the right side, but inside is going to be a drive by Muller, the harm, and the bucket. And it looks like curtain call time here for Davenport North, but let's watch Katie Muller inside again. Takes the contact and still finds the 2, and a standing ovation for both Davenport North and Dowling Catholic as they send off their seniors. For Davenport North, of course, Dowling Catholic will move on to play the winner of Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Prairie later on this week. Hoping to return back to the state championship game, but the free throw is up and it is good, and now Muller will also find her way to the bench. So basically 5-on-5 change for both teams, brought to you by IMT. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Some of these young girls getting their first opportunity on this floor could pay dividends for both these two teams in years to come. We saw Dreckmeyer get all that experience here today. Davenport North is hoping to continue this run of state tournament appearances to years to come. That one's lost out of bounds by Clendon.
Well, and it's different being here on the floor. No backdrops. It's just giving anybody those extra minutes, those extra seconds that you can have the opportunity to do. Both teams able to get all the way through their benches right now and get everybody onto the court.
I think I'm looking up and down both benches. I believe every player for both teams now has touched the floor close to it. There might be a couple for North that haven't quite found the floor yet, but pretty much both teams have found just about everybody onto the floor, so that's such a cool opportunity. There's a drive inside and a 2-point book it up by Zion Howell. She's a freshman as well, 5'11", good size for years to come for Davenport North from Zion Howell. Just 1:22 to play in the ball game. There's a 2-point shot up and no good by Rice. And now a foul called. Madison Rice, the first attempt at that, the junior. And it was followed up by Emerson Flattery. But it will be Rice who will go to the free throw line. Emma Roth called for the foul. Senior 5'10". And Rice at the free throw line. 6 of 8 this year. She makes them both. Anchor now 8 of 10 from the free throw line for Dowling Catholic, 64-38.
Well, now you get everybody into the game. The last two players get in for Davenport North.
64-38. As you mentioned, both the other two players for Davenport North now will get to see the floor. So now everybody for both teams are IMT substitutions. That was Dolores Obertantz with the attempt there for Davenport North. Now we'll see what Dowling Catholic can do. As Flattery back outside for a 3 on the way up and in, no good. And the ball was lost out of bounds. It will go back to Davenport North with just 39 seconds left in the ball game. And let's talk about it, but what a career for Journey Houston, Divine Burridge, and those other seniors. Of course, Maya Arnold, a big key player this year for Davenport North. She's a senior as well. So much good production out of all those three seniors this year for Davenport North.
Yeah, Divine Burridge, 19 points a game. Journey Houston, 21 points a game. Arnold, you mentioned, just under 3 points a game. But, you know, we're going to hear about them in the NCAAs for years to come, going to a couple great programs. We mentioned Burridge to LSU, Houston to Iowa.
Little scoop layup, no good. Second opportunity is also no good. A couple of opportunities there. Mariah Jones, 33, just a sophomore with the first opportunity, and then it was Brooklyn Miller, a senior, who got the second opportunity. Now 3 seconds left, and that will be the end of the ball game as the time will tick out. 64-38 is the final score. Dowling Catholic is back to the semifinals with a goal in mind of reaching the championship game.
That's the plan, right? When everybody gets here, and that first win is the hardest because you come here and it's your first time being here in about a year. Everything's different in the background. You probably have more fans here than you've had before. Just the atmosphere is different. It's going to be amped up even more come Thursday afternoon when they play again. So congratulations to the Maroons, but their journey is not over yet.
Davenport North will end the season 19-5. They finished third in the Mississippi Athletic Conference this year. The other two teams that finished ahead of them playing here in the state tournament. Let's go downstairs back to Mr. Fitzpatrick for today's awards ceremony. They'll move Dowling Catholic along in the bracket and, of course, honor Davenport North for the outstanding season that the Wildcats had this year, falling in this one 64-38.
In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are basketball administrator Gary Ross and executive director Aaron Gerlich. Congratulations, head coach Paul Rucker and the Wildcats from Davenport North on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Layla Tritton, you advance your team to the next round of the official bracket at center court. Congratulations, Dowling Catholic. Fans, your team advances to the 5A semifinals and will play the winner of our next game on Thursday, March 6th at 11:45. We'll see you there. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls.
Andy, what was the difference in this one? I mean, we talked about a couple of different things, but what did Dowling do to get themselves this win?
Well, I think just the presence of Ellie Muller inside, and that's what really caused a lot of shots to be altered. She ended up with 5 blocks, but just changed a lot more. 18 rebounds. But then you add that, you had Tritton shooting from the outside, 18 points for Layla Tritton. And then we don't even talk about Ava Zedeker and what she brings to the game. And we saw when Davenport North got into their transition game, they were really hard to stop, but the opportunities were very limited by the Maroons, and credit to the Maroons in that regard.
All right, Dowling Catholic now 21-3 on the season. They are off to the state semifinals to take on Waukee or Cedar Rapids Prairie. It was a fun one. Final score 64-38 in favor of the Dowling Catholic Maroons over the Davenport North Wildcats. On behalf of our entire team here in Des Moines, he's Andy Pollock. I'm Zarin Egestal saying so long for now. The final 5A game is next here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.